The Minister of Industry, Trade and Tourism, His Excellency Mr. Zayed bin Rashid Al Zayani, inaugurated the third edition of the Harafna Festival organized by the Bahrain Tourism and Exhibition Authority. The event will run until April 8th at Bab al Bahrain. The official opening of the event attended by His Excellency Sheikh Hisham bin Abdul Rahman Al Khalifa, Governor of the Capital Governorate, His Excellency Sheikh Khalid bin Mahmoud Al Khalifa, the Chief Executive Officer of Bahrain Tourism and Exhibition Authority, and Her Excellency Suha Ibrahim Al Far, Ambassador of Arab Republic of Egypt to the Kingdom of Bahrain, and number of officials of the authority, in addition to a group of journalists and media individuals. Part of the authority's strategy to develop the handicraft sector and the traditional industries in the country. The permanent market for Bahraini craftsmen has been inaugurated at Bab al Bahrain complex. Bahraini craftsmen and 11 Egyptian craftsmen are attending the Harafna Festival as guests of honor. As usual, this year's Harafna Festival coincides with the launch of the Grand Prix of Bahrain Formula One, which is attracting strong demand from various expatriate communities in the kingdom to enjoy the world-class sporting event. The function includes an exhibition of local craftsman products in the field of basket making, traditional music instruments, wood boxes, and many more. Visitors will be able to enjoy a variety of activities, including a range of family entertainment activities such as traditional music shows. Health Minister Fatima bin Saeed Al Saleh opened the newly established Silwan Psychiatric Center in the presence of the health officials, located at the Archive Tower, Bahrain in Manama. The new medical facility is specialized in providing consultancy services involving family, professional, marital, and school-related psychological problems and in treating mental disorders. The minister stressed the crucial role of the private sector, which represents an essential partner in promoting the developments of the health sector and supporting the government-led efforts. She underlined the complementary relations between the public and private sectors to provide high-quality health services for the sake of patients.
Razan Shaheen is a clinical psychologist and psychotherapist at Salwan Psychiatric Center. Ms. Shaheen completed her master's and bachelor's in psychology in the USA. She has 4 years of experience working in Bahrain and USA. Her favorite type of therapy is cognitive behavioral therapy, which explores how thoughts, behaviors, and feelings all influence one another.
So we provide psychotherapy as well as psychiatric medication. We do this for children, adults, and the geriatric population as well. We do it for all the mood disorders, depression, anxiety, bipolar, things like schizophrenia as well. There's marital problems, problems with behavioral problems with children. We do everything across the whole spectrum. So basically, psychiatry, you have to go to medical school for it because you need to be able to prescribe medications. A psychologist will not prescribe medications. They instead focus on the psychotherapy process a little bit more, as well as they do scales and assessments. So the scales that we would do, for example, are intelligence scales, scales for personality inventories. We do depression, anxiety, marital compatibility, things like this. There is a big misconception. People should feel okay with going to a psychologist or a psychiatrist just as they would with any other medical doctor. Taking psychiatric medications is the same thing as taking medications for diabetes. It's really no big deal. I think in order for us to rectify this as an issue, the first step is education. Education starting in the schools, making it okay to talk about mental health and making it okay for us to feel our emotions and not to, like, as a culture, as Arabs, we're usually more like, it's okay, it'll be okay, you know, inshallah khair type thing. And sometimes that's not enough. Sometimes we need a little bit more, and that's what therapy is for, is to be able to speak freely and feel like you are not being judged while you're speaking. And I think that in and of itself is very freeing. And I really hope that people change their misconceptions about the field. I mean, psychiatry is all about mental issues. We see so much in the field. It's very easy for people to have the misconception that I guess we would sort of absorb all the issues and that, you know, we would end up being kind of like the clients that we'd see. And I mean, I would hope that in the end, we, like, as a practitioner, and hopefully for the client, that we both take the good from each other and that we build together a healthy relationship together. Actually, Toys for Children is a great way to do therapy with kids because kids don't have the same vocabulary, they don't have the same forms of communication as adults do. So with kids, you can give them dolls or cars and tell them to act out what it's like at home, or tell them to, you know, show you what they want to be like, or show you, you know, like, what are you? Or even with kids with ADHD, where they have a lot of energy, you can't talk to them very much because they've got so much going on in their head. So instead, you can give them a toy that will occupy some of their senses, like Play-Doh or kinetic sand, things like this, and that way they're occupied doing something else with their energy, and they can give you a little bit more, so that way we can work together on things. So I mean, different people will do different things, and different people will react better to different things. So as a psychologist, it's really important for me to be able to try out different things with my clients. One of the things that is nice to do is art therapy. Even if it's just something as simple as while we're in session, I will give them something to just draw out, and this will actually lower their defense mechanisms. So that way they're not so focused on what they're talking about, and instead they're more focused on what they're drawing or what they're coloring in. And so it makes them say things that perhaps, so that way they're not so guarded in their talking. So I guess it's a bit of a trick. With all phobias, actually, be it fear of flying, fear of heights, fear of, some people are claustrophobic, fear of enclosed spaces. With all of them, we basically do the same thing. It's basically, we start off with baby steps. So first, we start with, first we teach them relaxation techniques, and we teach them that their thoughts are basically, you give as much power to your thoughts or your thoughts are only as powerful as you give them the power. So basically, with the relaxation skills, with sort of the teaching them to change their thought process, and then from there we take baby steps, such as if it's a fear of heights, we start with close your eyes and picture yourself somewhere up high and use your coping skills that we learned and try to calm yourself down from that. And then the next baby step would be, for example, we'd stand by the door of the balcony. We have a balcony here, and it's a pretty good height. So a good place would be for us to just stand by the door of the balcony and then try to be calm from there. Because our body can only respond to a stressful scenario for so long. That's just how our stress response works. And so basically we ride out the stress response together. And then eventually we step onto the balcony, and then we get just inch by inch get closer to the edge of the balcony. And so then eventually I would want them to sort of stick their head down from the balcony and be like, look, you're safe, nothing can happen to you here, like you're okay. And then eventually I would also take them up to the rooftop, and the rooftop's quite high and it's quite overwhelming. You get the breeze and everything. And so I think that would be our final goal, but it would basically be a series of sort of baby steps that we would take with the person and having them utilize the coping skills that we learned. I think that in the beginning, in the end, the medication for phobias is more of a crutch, and it's also more of a temporary fix. If you want the phobia to really and truly go away, you need to be able to get at the core of the issue. Be it if the phobia happens because of a specific event, or be it you learned it from a family member. You need to get to the core of the issue and work on it. And this is in the end how you can get over the phobia. The medications are helpful to, if it's just one plane ride that you need to get on and you don't travel very often, that's okay to take the medication for, of course. And it's okay to take medication for regardless. But if you really want the problem to be solved to 100%, you need to go through the therapy for it and put in the work. And it's a lot of work for the patient, for the client, more so than it is for me. My hope for the Kingdom of Bahrain is that they will come to really enjoy, hopefully, the field of, psychiatry and psychology, and accept it as a field and know that it's okay to see someone to talk to. It's okay to take medication. It's okay to seek help if you need it, be it from a professional or even if it's just from a friend.
see your face in every sunrise.